there's more than one reason to celebrate. Let's go on a journey. And count the ways, as we take you to experience a different side of the world's cultures. Adventure awaits on Festivals of the World. Calgary Stampede. Ready to travel to the Great White North for the greatest outdoor show on Earth? Awesome! Where we're going to is already given in the festival's name, Stampede Park in the city of Calgary. So there is no excuse for you to get lost on your way. Aside from your travel necessities, you will also need to have a cowboy hat. Why? Because Calgary Stampede is the Wild West brought to Canada, so the cowboy hat symbolizes the culture of this festival. Plus, you'd feel out of place if you don't have one, and you surely don't want that. What to do at Calgary Stampede? There are lots of activities in store beyond the gates of Stampede Park because aside from the incorporation and preservation of the Wild West culture through rodeo, it's also a fair. There are rides, stalls, and demonstrations all for you to enjoy for 10 days. And this idea of preserving the authentic Wild West culture was envisioned by a cowboy and vaudeville entertainer named Guy Weedick. Thanks to him, millions of people, kids and adults alike, have been enjoying the Stampede for several decades now. Don't miss the parade because it marks the official start of the festival. You have to arrive at Stampede Park a few hours before the parade begins if you want a good spot to watch the procession of horses, the police who will be overseeing the 10-day event, countless floats, and traditional Native American dance performances. The parade begins at 9 in the morning on the first Friday of the Stampede, and this parade is only an appetizer to your 10 days worth of fun at Calgary. Rodeo is the heart of Calgary Stampede, and this event gets very competitive and huge prizes are at stake. Winners of rodeo events could win huge cash prizes, and on the championship day, more than $1 million cash are doled out. See, people are not just in it for the fun of the festival. The cash you could earn is also a pretty good attraction. But beware, rodeo events are not to be taken lightly because they are very risky sports. In fact, there have been lots of opposition on the continuation of rodeo events because of animal welfare and the dangerous nature itself. But so far, the rodeo events at the Stampede continue. There are 6 major disciplines: bull riding, barrel racing, steer racing, calf roping, saddle bronc, and bareback riding. The winners in each event gets a $100,000 prize. These 6 events are only open for professional cowboys and cowgirls, so if your rodeo skills are still being polished, there are 4 novice events: junior steer riding, novice bareback, novice saddle bronc, and wild pony racing. And it's the kids who are joining these events. The competitions are spread out in 10 days, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the shows. But that's not all. One of Guy Weedick's most insane ideas became one of the main highlights of the Calgary Stampede. It's an event called Rangeland Derby, which is basically chuck wagon racing. If you're not familiar what that is, chuck wagon racing is a team sport consisting of 3 or 5 members. One is the driver who commands a team of horses pulling the chuck wagon, and the rest are outriders, each racing individual thoroughbred horses following the chuck wagon. Each race typically involves 3 or 4 teams and begins the outriders breaking camp by tossing 2 tent poles, though this is only applicable to teams with 4 outriders, and a barrel representing a camp stove into the back of their wagon before mounting their horses and following the wagons as they complete a figure 8 around 2 barrels before circling the racetrack. The first wagon to cross the finish line typically wins. Because of the chaotic nature of this event, it earned the nickname Half Mile of Hell. Blown away already? Better hold your ground because that's not everything Calgary Stampede has to offer yet. Here you can expect the rides and games you'd expect from fairs and carnivals, plus concerts and huge stages that play country, rock, and pop music on evenings and provide family entertainment during daytime. Who knew 2 different worlds could join in one festival? Drop by Alberta in July and have an exhilarating week! South by Southwest. If you truly love music, a trip to Austin, Texas is always worth it. For one, it's the home of Austin City Limits, both the television show and the annual music festival every October. But there's also a 10-day event worth going to in the same city. It's called South by Southwest, abbreviated as SXSW. But unlike Austin City Limits, SXSW has expanded its scope to film and interactive media, aside from being a music fest only. From being a small weekend music festival, South by Southwest has surely grown far from its roots. Originally, the founders of this festival intended it to be an independent music showcase where rising bands would try to pursue possible labels. The founders got the idea for the name of the festival from Alfred Hitchcock's film North by Northwest. The first South by Southwest was promising. The number of visitors exceeded expectations. South by Southwest included film and technology in the recent years. Many popular new tech products have been launched in South by Southwest Interactive. The technology side of South by Southwest takes over for 5 days of the festival through a conference and panel series. Because the conference is one of the reasons why South by Southwest is so popular, listen and get inspired with all the professionals talking about their work, the emerging technology, fresh ideas, the exhibit of interactive media, and so much more. Interactive media are those services and products powered by digital computer-based systems. If you can hear audio and see text, moving image, animation, and video games, that'll be interactive media. Some of popular products like the iPad are launched at SXSW Interactive. The Interactive also has a trade show, guest speakers, parties, and a startup accelerator. Get yourself involved and watch as brilliant ideas form and unfold in here. If there's a haven for tech savvies, there's also something for film junkies. South by Southwest has a film conference and a film festival. The film conference is 5 days worth of panels, workshops, mentor sessions, and so much more. And this is open to all levels of filmmakers. Famous actors, actresses, directors, and producers have been speakers on the previous editions of South by Southwest. The conference is known to emphasize rising directing talents with fresh perspectives and independently produced films. South by Southwest is also known to be a platform where small studios could use the enthusiasm of the festival goers so that their works could have a wider release. The South by Southwest Film Festival, on the other hand, also runs on the same days as the film conference, but this would go on much longer. The Film Fest will run for 9 out of the 10 SXSW days. So if you have any films and movies in mind that you're dying to see, you could probably catch it on its premiere on South by Southwest. Although South by Southwest brought in wonderful add-ons to their festival, the original features of this event haven't been fully removed. 6 days of the festival are still dedicated to music, But it's not just up-and-coming bands who are performing anymore. Successful and famous artists have come to perform at SXSW already, and why not? It's a great festival to be a part in. However, despite these stars stealing a huge chunk of the spotlight from promising artists, SXSW is still a good place to find new talents just waiting to make good impressions. In fact, some popular artists now had been catapulted to fame partially because of SXSW. Whether you're in for the new technology, the films, or the famous celebrities, there's always something in store for you at South by Southwest. You can catch this one-of-a-kind annual event sometime in March. Awa Odori. Do you love dancing? Or are you a huge fan of dance, but you're a horrible dancer? Worry not, because there is some place you can go to without having to worry about your two left feet. This time, you're going to the smallest of the 4 main islands of Japan, Shikoku, for Awa Odori Festival. It's the largest dance fest in Japan, and millions of tourists flock to Tokushima Prefecture in Shikoku for this, and you better be one of them. Awa Odori is one of the main highlights of the Obon Festival. Obon Festival is a Japanese Buddhist tradition to honor the spirits of people's ancestors. The roots of this festival traces to the story of one of Buddha's disciples, Mokuren, who used his extraordinary powers to look for his deceased mother. But Mokuren fell into the realm of the hungry ghosts, a place for spirits who suffer with endless hunger. Buddha suggested to his disciple that he pray to a group of monks coming back from a pilgrimage. Mokuren's prayers were answered and his mother was freed from the hungry ghost's realm. Mokuren remembered all the times showing how kind his mother was, so he danced in happiness. And the very same dance became the Bon Odori. Inspired from Mokuren's story, the Obon Festival, with Awa Odori, of course, is now a time where family members get reunited. People living in the cities go back to their hometowns and visit the family members they've left behind, and they also offer food, chochin lanterns, and flowers to their ancestors and other spirits. One of the most beautiful customs they do is releasing floating lanterns called Doro Nagashi into bodies of water, with each lantern carrying the spirit of the ancestor back to the afterlife. It's like seeing the Yipang and Loy Krathong festivals, with the lanterns looking like fallen stars floating on water. So where does Awa Odori fit into all of this? In Tokushima Prefecture, their version of the Bon Odori is the Awa Odori. Odori means dance, and Awa is the old name of Tokushima Prefecture's feudal administration. Aside from that, Tokushima also combined the inauguration of the Tokushima Castle with Bon Odori. When the castle was inaugurated, a feudal lord hosted a party soaked in sake, and the rules were: street dances are only to last for 3 days. Samurais could only dance inside their houses with the doors closed. No swords and masks are allowed while dancing. And no dancing at the temples. Combining Bon Odori and the Tokushima Castle Party, we now have Awa Odori. The current dance steps in the choreography for Awa Odori is imitating how a drunk person dances, referencing to the castle party where people have drank too much sake. If you're not a very good dancer, it's better if you take part in the nighttime dance called Zomeki. The daytime dance is called Nagashi, where all the dance steps are beautiful and graceful. So if you don't think you have fairy dust on your feet, wait until nighttime for Zomeki, where all the dance moves are random, wild, and unpredictable, or basically pretty much what a drunk person looks like when he dances. And the best part is, you can dance like nobody's watching. Chant "Yoi, yoi, yoi" with other dancers. It doesn't mean anything, but it adds to the fun of the dance. You could see street dancers clad in traditional Japanese costumes, designed and decorated with ornaments and many different colors. When has a family reunion become this fun and lively? Only during August in Awa Odori. The rest of the world seems to be inspired with this festival that some parts in Japan, including Tokyo, also celebrate Awa Odori. Plus, Japanese immigrants in Europe and the United States seem to have brought this amazing celebration from their old home to their new one, which is why some cities in the US also have their own version of Awa Odori. But despite having Awa Odori celebrated in different parts of the world, it's a different experience when you celebrate this festival in its original place. So get your dancing shoes ready because you'll be waltzing to Shikoku Island now. Wanderlust. Do you feel stressed out or have no idea what you're doing with your life? Calm down and take a deep breath. You're going to attend a festival that'll help you with these. Take a break from the wild, chaotic, and loud side of festivals and attend Wanderlust instead. It's a music and a yoga festival, the haven of holistic-minded folks and a unique treatment for festival goers. It doesn't sound too enthusiastic or adventurous, but when you've reached the end of the festival, you'd feel that you're 10 times better than the person you were before coming to Wanderlust. Praise the festival gods for the founders of Wanderlust for coming up with this idea for a festival. The festival usually lasts 4 days, but there are day-long sessions for those who are really on a tight schedule. There are Wanderlust festivals in Oahu, Hawaii, Snowshoe, West Virginia, Stratton, Vermont, and North Lake Tahoe, California in the United States, Whistler, British Columbia, and Mont Tremblant, Quebec in Canada, Sunshine Coast, Queensland in Australia, and Great Lake Taupo in New Zealand. These places have been carefully selected so that people can be one with nature, be able to relax, and feel free. You are now armed with the knowledge that Wanderlust is a yoga festival. So if your bones and muscles have never done yoga, it's better if you took a few classes first before heading to Wanderlust if you don't want your body aching and sore all over after the festival. But it's really up to you how much yoga you would do. Your well-being and enjoyment is valued more than anything else. However, yoga is a great physical, mental, and spiritual activity, so bring your yoga mat and give it a go. Because Wanderlust creates a holistic, healthy, inspirational, and healing vibe, you're bound to meet nice people and make friends with them. You don't have to put up with anything negative, out of control, and irresponsible here. Instead of mind-blowing laser shows and heart-thumping beats, you're going to have lectures about how the mind, body, and spirit are all interconnected, and even do hula hooping as your morning exercise. You're also going to eat delicious, healthy meals, so say goodbye first to your junk food and booze. It may sound all controlling and boring at first, but in the middle of your sessions, you'll realize this kind of routine is exactly what you need. Then, you're going to learn paddleboarding and surfing if you don't know how to do them. With so much activities stacked up for you, you won't even have the time to update your social media accounts, and it would probably be for the best. Leave your online world first and embrace the stunning views and creations of nature around you. Wanderlust picks the venues where you could relax, and any place surrounded by the beauty of nature is always the top options. Then, after your fun water activities, you're also going to have meditation lessons and, yes, more yoga. Don't frown, this is a different kind of fun. If other festivals plan to keep you up all night for a couple of days, in Wanderlust, that is a no-no. Sleep is essential for good health, in case you forgot. And in here, you'd get the afternoon naps you so wanted to have back ever since you became an adult. The music lineup is very much in line with Wanderlust's holistic environment, which the dominant genres are indie rock and folk rock, music that juggles between relaxing and energetic. Wanderlust is almost spread throughout the year, so if you missed one, there'd always be another, and another, and another. Don't forget your yoga mat and a pair of athletic shoes. Those will be your basic necessities in here. To sum it all up, Wanderlust is like having a retreat with strangers who are probably going through the same phase as you. It's like having friends you haven't met yet, which is why you'd never be out of place in here. But it's best if you brought your whole squad along for a wonderful time to bond, and together, all of you will reach the Wanderlust motto, achieving your true north. Prepare for the next quest. A true adventurer searches for new quests after he or she finishes the previous one and looks for his or her own if everyone thinks that there are no more journeys to have. The internet is always your friend to look for other cool festivals you can attend. There are many, many more of them out there. Whether you're looking for a festival that's intended for partying, chilling out, meeting new friends, coming from as far as the other end of the world, appreciating different cultures and traditions, or just taking a break from all the happenings in your life, there is a festival just right for you. You could also take the recommendations of friends and family. Whatever experiences you had and learned while you were traveling and attending other festivals are not just memories of fun trips. They can come in handy on your next travels. You could also opt to come back to the festivals you've already attended before if you've enjoyed your experience so much. No festival is exactly the same. Sure, one may have borrowed elements from another festival, but when you attend both, the experience will be different. So if you have that mentality that this festival is just the same as the other, don't. If festivals is where your heart is, you surely wouldn't want to miss them for the world. Like heroes on their quest to save the world, most of the learning comes from the adventures. Articles, photos, videos, and other sources of information could only give out a certain amount of idea regarding your next festival. But experience is always the best teacher. That's why, pack your things, retire early for the night, because tomorrow, you'll start your journey again. Bon voyage! The celebration ends here, but the fun is not over. And we still have more festivities to look forward to. So recharge your energy and get ready for another adventure. We'll see you again on Festivals of the World.